Hello, I'm Andrea Knox from North Hollywood, California. Behind me is the business sign from my father's business that he started in 1925 when he graduated from Hollywood High School. My father's name was Laurence Young. He loved having a business in Hollywood. He liked the connections he could make. He liked having a presence in the town. What he didn't know at the time was that he wasn't a Christian. After high school, he went to UCLA, and as his testimony says, a group of young men at UCLA led him to the Lord. This changed his life dramatically. Even though he'd been raised in a church-going family, now he knew the salvation and love of Jesus Christ. And he used those connections and that presence in the city of Hollywood as part of his ministry. He met and married my mother, Ruth, at Hollywood Methodist Church, and together they raised 6 Christian, Christ-loving, God-centered children. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me tell you about the early years. In 1949, when Billy Graham was an up-and-rising evangelist, the city of Los Angeles wanted to invite him to have his first crusade in Los Angeles, but there was no infrastructure to support a crusade of that type. By that I mean there weren't the people or the churches united enough to support a campaign like, all the bookkeepers, the people who'd hire the tent, rent the chairs, set them up, do the renting of the area, do maintenance, collect the offering, even a bank account. These things didn't exist for what later became the Billy Graham Crusade. So somebody pulled together a group of local churchgoers, pastors, churches, lay people, and incorporated the organization called Christ for Greater Los Angeles. And the corporation, Christ for Greater Los Angeles, put on the 1949 Billy Graham Crusade in Los Angeles. It was Billy Graham's first crusade. It was scheduled to run for a few weeks, but it was so popular that the calendar got extended. But Billy Graham came to the people of Christ for Greater Los Angeles. He said, I'm willing and I'm here, but I'm out of sermons. So the people sat down together and fed him possible topics for sermons. My dad was one of those people because ever since becoming a Christian at UCLA, he'd been a Sunday school teacher. Well, the campaign was a success, and it was the beginning of the overall Billy Graham organization. That's just one small thing. Later, after my dad died and I was cleaning out his business, the one that this sign goes to, I found those incorporation papers. It turned out he'd never mentioned it, but it was my dad that filed the corporation papers for Christ for Greater Los Angeles. That was the foundational organization for the beginning of the Billy Graham Crusade. Anyway, my dad was an AGO, and although he never specifically said that those Christian young men that led him to Christ were in fact members of AGO, it's pretty easy to connect the dots. Later, I grew up and got married. I became a Sunday school teacher myself, and when my son was college age, he applied for UCLA and was accepted, and he had no choice. He had to become an AGO. So he lived at the Alpha House for his years during UCLA, and I credit the Christian young men at the Alpha House of AGO for keeping my son on the straight and narrow. He married a beautiful Christian girl, and they have 2 boys. My son is a Sunday school teacher. He's 3rd generation Sunday school teacher at our church, which is Hollywood Presbyterian Church, and he's raising Christian children. If my kids end up at one of the schools that has a house of AGO, I will encourage them to be active members because it has been a life-changing experience for our entire family through 1, 2, 3, 4 generations. My dad, me, my son, and now his sons. And this is because a group of caring, loving, Christ-centered young men at UCLA shared the gospel with my dad. Thank you, AGO, for everything you do, and God bless you.